Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Winter Quarter Literature for Children. My name is Amber. I'm going to be your instructor. You can just call me Amber all quarter long, and you will learn a little bit more about me here in our first discussion. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I just want to orient you to the course space, help get rid of some of those first day like jitters, excitement, nervousness, and just give you guys a sense for what's to come. So most importantly, this class is taught entirely online. I think that's really exciting. Other ways to think of this is that it's a self-paced course. There are deadlines, but you choose when you're doing your work. You choose where you do your work. There's a lot of freedom in that. You choose what to wear, whether you're inside or outside, daytime or nighttime. And I just know from personal experience that that was a really fun aspect of my own learning journey, to be given the freedom to learn when I was able, when I was in the mood, when I really felt like I had the energy for doing the work. So as someone who has taken many online classes before and taught many online classes now as well, I encourage you to spend this first little bit of time getting to know the lay of the land. And I would treat this class like a home, like a vacation home that you're showing up to, that you get to stay in for a little while and just kind of poke around, figure out where things are, open the doors, find the nearest bathroom, where's the kitchen, that kind of stuff, so that you know where things are, how things are laid out. And every homeowner sets up their space a little bit differently. I hope that you guys will find this space to be well organized and engaging. I'm always working to improve, so I will look forward to your feedback as we go along as well. Okay, here is a general rundown of the space. You're on the home page now. There are lots of ways to get here. The dashboard on the left-hand side of the Canvas course space, the courses tab on the left hand of Canvas, and I'll send some links sometimes. This is called an embedded Padlet. So I used Padlet to create this stream of daily or of weekly updates, okay? And there will be an update every Monday by noon. Unless Monday is a holiday, it will be Tuesday by noon. So that way you get kind of a good morning, it's week 1, it's week 2 kind of flow and rhythm to the course. Not only will I put this Padlet on the homepage, but the Padlet will also show up in your calendar as a to-do item on that first day of the week, just to give you a welcome video, most likely, a recap of maybe what happened last week, a little bit of human connection, and then some extra instruction or lecture to lead us into what's to come. I really feel like even though you're not learning in person, you still deserve to feel connected to the person who is facilitating and leading you through the course. I'll try to keep these very short and sweet. This is usually the longest one. But again, it's about really giving you guys a unique experience even though you're learning online. Below the video, the routine will typically be that I will write a statement, and it's below this one too, and it'll say, here's the workflow for the week. That's how you stay on task with what is due, either on Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Sundays. You won't always have something due on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but those are our regular deadlines, and I like to keep it like that so that if you're going about your business throughout the week and you panic and you're like, because I've done this, oh no, I have something due. You can be like, oh wait, it's Monday. Nothing's due on Mondays. But Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, that's when things are going to be due. And all of that will be listed out in these bullets under here's the workflow for the week, provided with links so that you can go directly to where that work is happening. Typically on the Canvas discussion boards, there will be instructions at the top, a place for you to reply at the bottom, a place for you to respond to each other throughout the week as well. After you read these weekly updates, I would love it if you would give a like or a heart. And that is not like social media where I'm asking you guys to like my post. It's more just a way for you to say, I was here. I read it, I got it. And it's not attached to your name, but it gives me a sense for how many students are actually engaging with our weekly updates. And just so that I know you're alive out there, that there are real little beating hearts behind these screens and these little visual avatars. If you want, you can leave a comment as well. Those comments will be public to everyone, so leave them when a link doesn't work or when it's unclear what to do, something that would benefit everyone to see. But if you have a specific personal question, send me a message, which there will be more information about how to reach me below. All right, below the weekly updates, I will always provide a link to workflows for the entire quarter. So if you're the kind of student who really wants to have that big picture, or you need to look ahead, you need to know what we're doing in week 4, you're really wondering what's left because you have a midterm coming up or a vacation that's going to happen or a deadline at your job or whatever it might be that is in your world that's impacting your ability to plan, then you can always open up workflows for the entire quarter and you can see the upcoming weekly updates. They won't have the videos, they won't have any extra support, but it'll be just the basics of what's going to be due and when. And that is subject to change. So the only thing that's official is what shows up on the weekly updates. I hardly ever have to change the full quarter updates, but if there's something like snow, a power outage, a pandemic, who knows, then I would need to make a couple of adjustments to give you guys more time to accommodate any of those changes. All right, so the thing about the homepage, the thing about this weekly update is the reason why I want your little beating hearts showing up and engaging with it is if you just know how to get here, you will know how to navigate the entire course. The weekly update is the only place every Monday or Tuesday where you will find out what am I supposed to be doing in this class. This is your home base, homepage, home base. Many of you, though, probably like to use the to-do list or the calendar. You don't have to be inside of the course to access the to-do list in Canvas. It compiles all of your to-dos for all of your classes and typically puts it on the right-hand side of a dashboard view. On the left-hand side, there's a little calendar icon. You can click on that too. And I do copy and paste the information from these weekly updates right onto the Canvas calendar. So the assignments themselves don't have due dates attached to them, but I've created a due date, an event in the calendar for every single assignment. So if you go there, you will also see things due on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, as well as a link to the weekly updates every Monday. And some really like the to-do list, which is why I'm trying to set up this Canvas course in a way that matches the myriad of ways I have learned that different students like to use and view Canvas. Find what works for you and your personality, what makes sense to you, and reach out if something isn't showing in a way that makes sense to you so that I can try to problem solve, guide you, potentially make a change, etc. Another thing I've done, just kind of moving through the menu on the left, is that if you go to modules right below the home page, some students like to just work from modules. And if you open up modules, I want to confirm this, you'll see at the top, you'll see at the top some information about how things are graded in the course. That's coming to you soon. And I put that at the top just so it's quick access. You can get to it often. And then below that, you'll see all of the levels and the quests for the course. In this course, that's what the assignments are called. You're going to have 9 total levels and 5 total quests. And so you can see everything. Right now, I have just through like level 5 and quest 1 published. The rest of it, I'm just updating some deadlines and I'll get that out to you guys later. But that buys us a handful of the first weeks of the quarter. All right, below modules, you're going to see, let's see, it says grades up there. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a couple little reorganizations, but on the left-hand menu, you will find course syllabus. This is a live Google document where you can highlight and make comments or ask questions if needed. I'll keep my eye on that. Most students don't ask questions, but I still want you guys to have that opportunity. So the course syllabus is on the left-hand side. When you open up level 1, you will be asked to review that, and there's a link to do it. But it's also there at all times on the left-hand side for you to access and reference. what if you want to meet with me during the quarter? What if the weekly video isn't personal enough and email doesn't really feel like it's doing justice to your situation? What if you want a one-on-one conference? That's what Amber's Zoom room is for on the left-hand side. The only thing is I'm not just always in there. So send an email, set up an appointment, find a time that we can meet. And if you really want to meet in person, I do live and work here on campus in the Applied Arts Building, room 147. But again, I'm not always in here. So send an email, set up a time, and I can meet with you in person as well. I can meet with you in the library if that's more comfortable. I am typically really flexible. I'm usually available Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and also a little bit on Fridays. But again, just send me an email and I'll do everything I can to make that happen for you. All right, also on the left-hand side menu, people. What if you want to connect with each other throughout the quarter? What if you wanted to send a more private message to just encourage someone, tell them they did a great job, ask them a question, etc.? Obviously, all the same rules about being respectful, supportive, and encouraging and creating a positive learning environment for one another apply. But the private ability to reach out to each other on the People tab is another way to do all of that good work. As well, you should be able to access grades. And again, I'm going to talk to you about that just a little bit later. Right now, I want to talk about what is the workflow for this first week. All right, since it's week 1, nothing's due Tuesday. Let's get a little bit of time. And by Thursday, what I want you guys to do is share an original post for level 1 getting started. In the bullet below, it says click here. In that discussion space, you will review the course syllabus, just kind of glance through it. You don't have to study it. You can build that over time. And then you're going to fill out the required book survey. Now, that is not anything where I'm giving you guys credit or no credit for having the books or not. It's a chance for me to figure out who needs extra support, help, resources, time, care, whatever it might be. If you're waiting for your books, you didn't know you needed certain books, etc. So the survey is a chance for me to find out, like, who has what they need, who's waiting, where are you guys at? Then in that discussion space, you're going to post an introduction. I have an introduction in there as well that you can view as an example, and you're going to include maybe an image or a handful of them, and yeah, get a chance to read mine, read each other's. No replies due just yet. All you have to do by Thursday is review all these materials and make your post. Okay, then by Sunday, the 12th of January by midnight-ish, I'd like you guys to write some replies. Welcome each other. Create a positive learning community, a space where you guys might feel a little bit excited to show up because the people are kind and interesting and thoughtful and engage with you. And yeah, that's the kind of tone that we're trying to set really early on this quarter. Also due Sunday, you're going to share an original post for level 2 survey of literary history. So that's going to be your first real kind of assignment that's going to be like I'll evaluate it and give more comments and feedback of what I'm hoping, the kind of work that I'm hoping will create this quarter. You'll need to read chapter 1 of Russell's textbook, The History of Children's Literature. That's going to be pages 1 through 23. And if you don't have the book, don't panic. Along with the survey, I let you guys know that I'll be providing some online PDFs just for the start of the quarter to make sure that no one falls behind and that everyone feels equipped to do what's being asked of you. Okay, since things are due, I think this is a really good time to call out some of the important information in the syllabus that applies right now. So, what if the deadline is midnight-ish, and what if I'm late? Well, guess what? I'm not checking timestamps. That's the first thing you need to know. I do not care about the minutes. I show up to work the next day, and if I'm on my most organized self, I'm going to check. I'm going to open it up and find out, okay, what's in here? Is anything missing? So if something is in the assignment space by the time I log in, meaning I haven't given you a grade or a comment yet, then I haven't looked at it yet, and to me it's not late. So Beat me to it, essentially. That is the reality around the deadlines. Beat me to it. That's why I say midnight-ish. I'm running late sometimes. You guys might be running late sometimes. I'm trying my best to be hyper flexible to accommodate the dozens of students that I work with every single quarter, coming from all walks of life, managing all kinds of obstacles, challenges, sometimes tragedies and stressors, other times just exciting good stuff that's going on in life. And it is not realistic to expect that everyone can have their life fit into this Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday course. So more on that as I keep talking, but beat me to it. As long as it's there when I log in, I am going to count it as on time. I want to be your partner in learning. I do not want to be punitive with you. Okay, so what else am I doing to support that flexibility? Well, let me talk a little bit about the grading system. Like I said earlier, there are going to be 9 levels and 5 quests in this course. You will see some numbers in the gradebook, but those are not your grades. Those are just numbers I have to type in to make the gradebook say what I want the gradebook to say, like a key. So I type in point something something, and the gradebook says, and you'll read about this in the syllabus and we'll kind of practice it the first handful of levels and quests, but the gradebook will say that the level was completed. That would be like the ideal situation. So for level 1, when you introduce yourself, once you write your replies, I'm going to put out for almost all of you, level completed, and it'll be a little green dot. And that means you earned it. Like that is the best you can do on level 1 is a green dot, level completed, awesome. I will still be giving qualitative comments all quarter long. That's what I do instead of like minutia points and percentages. Everyone who does it though to the requirements, to what the instruction asks for, is going to get level completed. Now, as soon as level 2 starts, you guys have access to also earning treasure. And there is a tips sheet. It's accessible from the syllabus. It's accessible in modules. It's accessible from the assignment itself early on. And the tips sheet tells you, okay, how do I complete levels and quests? And also, I'm kind of curious about how to earn that treasure. How do I get that treasure? So I won't go into that in the video because there's no treasure in level 1. There will be treasure in level 2, but I want you to review that sheet just as you have time this week. And it's the same sheet that we're going to be using all quarter long. It's the same criteria all quarter long. So we'll keep practicing it together. I tell students every quarter that at first you might be like, what is this? But after about 3 weeks, you're going to be like, oh, I get it now. And my comments will help. And the goal is that you would be able to achieve the grade that you want. So if you're interested in treasure, you'll have the resources you need to earn that. And if you're not, you don't need to put in that amount of effort. It's really going to be up to you guys. So hang in there, bear with me. But back to flexibility. What if you submit something and it's just not done yet? Or you didn't finish the replies? Or you missed some part of the instructions that's really important to me? Are you going to earn an incomplete and then not get credit for that level or quest? No, not exactly. Instead, you're going to earn an opportunity to reboot that level or quest. And again, more information in the syllabus, more information in the tip sheet. But the idea is that I will say reboot available. And if it's no replies, finish the replies. And if it's something else, I'll leave a comment or you will know because it was incomplete. What if you just didn't do it? I'll say no attempt. You can still reboot that, but it's a little bit different for me. It just helps me to know like the difference between students who submitted and were missing something or students who just aren't submitting things. And it's so that I can keep an eye on where everyone is at and reach out in a way that's suited to how you're doing. So if you're missing a deadline, like even this first week, and there's no attempt, if I have to type in no attempt, but I haven't heard from you, I feel a little bit nervous. Like, are you in the course? Are you present? Are you okay? Are you going to be able to stick with the course? What I don't want is for a student to start going through something in their personal life and then not pass the course because they just weren't submitting stuff. There are other better options for you and your transcript and your journey here, so that's why I care. It's just to make sure that you know about all of your options so that you don't end up with a failed grade on your transcript when really what you needed is for us as a college staff to come around you, support you, and help you get the resources that you need. What if you get a reboot? Either way, it's about a 1 week time from the time I grade to the time when I want that reboot work to show up. However, I always default to what's your plan? So if you email me and say, can I turn it in late? The first thing I'm going to say is when. Just when is your plan? And it's not so that I can say yeah or no. It's so that I can figure out, okay, does this sound reasonable? So if you say, oh, it's going to take me 2 weeks, I'm going to say, well, what about the upcoming work here, here, and here? It's not to challenge you. It's just to make sure that we're working together so that you have a plan. And there's a lot more about that in the syllabus, but I think this is a good initial overview and introduction. I hope you guys are getting a sense for who I am, a little bit of my philosophy. I'll talk more about all of this next week because that's when some of this work will actually start rolling out. Okay, lastly, I've been teaching this class every quarter now for at least 3 years, and it has been one of my favorite classes. It is probably one of the most awesome things that happened to my career here as an instructor at Loyola Columbia College. I just feel really rejuvenated to get to offer this curriculum to you. So I know that every group of students is unique, but I want to tell you, if you're nervous about the grading system, I take feedback at the end of every quarter, and at first it was not the smoothest system, and I had to have students give me a lot of feedback to help me fine-tune it and tweak it, and I will keep doing that if there are flaws in it. But I do want to assure you, from the feedback of former students, the system should work. It should make you feel like you can be creative and relax and not have to count points and percentages and letter grades. All you have to do is focus on completing levels and quests. If you don't complete some, you don't get an A. And some of you don't want an A, so that's okay. But if you do, just complete the levels and quests. And again, we'll talk about it more later. But other students have said, okay, after a few weeks, it started to make sense. And I really loved it because it was free to learn and just absorb the materials. The other thing is that I love teaching this class because I'm always a little bit nervous that what if I love it more than they do? Or what if, I can't get that buy-in? And I'm just so pleasantly surprised by how a multitude of different kinds of students have been able to find something from the class that they can take away. So a lot of you might be here like, I don't really care about this curriculum. I just needed this class for a requirement. And I respect that. I think that's part of going to college. But I hope that you find something, if not early on, somewhere in the quarter, that actually benefits your life. Whether that's the chance to reflect on your own childhood, the stories you love, the reading, or even the watching that you enjoy doing in your life, the kinds of stories that you like to absorb. Maybe you want to be a teacher someday, or maybe you don't, but you want to be a parent someday, or you're an aunt or an uncle and you really want to engage with your nieces and nephews in a unique way. It could be anything. I just really encourage you to find something this quarter that makes the class more than a class. Because if you look for it, I think you'll discover it, and I think you will really feel a sense of just gratitude that you signed up for this class. And I will be on that mission with you, and I really hope you guys just have a seamless and enjoyable quarter where you feel like you actually got to learn some things. Okay, reach out if you need me. I really look forward to corresponding with you over the coming 10 weeks, and have a great start to your other classes as well.